During last online class, we had discussed about the different form elements, input element as well as checkboxes. All these are the input elements. If you remember, we had added checkbox as an input element, and we have specified the type of the input element using the attribute type. And we had also discussed about the value attribute of input element, or we can say the tag, to assign the value to the particular element, input element. Now let us discuss the next input element, that is radio button. So the last time we had created this input element and the two check boxes during online class. Now next is radio buttons. So now we are going to ask the user to enter to select your sex, okay, whether male or female. So we will select here, select your sex. Sex means whether male or female. Now if we save it, our file, I'm going to save it, and now I'm going to refresh this page. Now you can see here it says select your sex. Okay, now let us use here br tag, since it is displayed in the same line. So I'm going to use here br. Now I'm going to save this, and we are going to refresh this web page, and you can see now that in the next, select your sex, okay, and here will be your, okay, spelling is incorrect, and then we will use one more br tag so that there should be appropriate space in between. Now we will refresh the web page. Now we will add two break br tags more, okay, and I will copy these two and I will paste it here, and after the two lines, okay, two space, I will use here first radio button using input. So first we will use here input tag input, and if I save it after typing input, then and if I refresh the page, you can see text box will appear. By default the type of the input element is text, but if we want to change its type, then we can use the one attribute of input element or the input tag, that is type. Now we will specify here the type as radio. Now I'm going to save this file, and we will see the change on the web page. Now you can see the radio button has appeared. This circular button, okay, you can see here circle. The circle is a radio button. If I click over it, this is how we can select it. A dark circle, a dark dot will appear inside it. Now how to name this? Okay, to name it, we are going to first name it to it. I'm going to name it, okay, as, let us name this input element as male, and we are going to assign one value to it, that is male, okay, same value, and the name that we want, going to write here name, okay, and we will not name, we will type here male, and we will save it, and we will refresh this now, and you can see here. So, and now user can select male or female depending upon the requirement. Now similarly we will copy this again, okay, and now let us use one br here, and I will paste it here, okay, and here we will use female, and here will be female, name of the input element, and the value that is associated with this radio element will be female, and we will save this, and we will refresh this page, and you can see here. So now remember, this radio elements or the radio tag input elements are used when we want to select only single value at a time. So but you can see at presently I am able to select multiple. So how I can do it? The name should be same. So let us name it. Name of this first radio button is R1, and I'm going to name it as R1 again. Now what will happen? It will make a group. Name is same, so it is a group of one. Under one group, they are available, that is R1, and we can select only one out of two at a time. So if I save it, you can see here now I will be able to select only one at a time, okay, either male or female. You can see here. So why? Because the name is same, they are grouped together under same name, so I can select only one at a time. If the name is different, okay, if I make here R2, okay, if the name is different of both the elements, then you can see here we will be able to select both the, okay. After saving it, we have to refresh. I have not refreshed the page, so after once I refresh the page, you can see I'm able to select both male and female, but that can't be possible, okay. So here we have to, name should be same. Why? Because we have to group both the radio elements, so that we can make only one selection at a time. So I will, after having same name, now we will refresh the web page and we can select only one option out of the two. This is our requirement. So in this way we can add radio elements. Next is password. Okay, how to add password? To add the password field, okay, we will use, I am going to use here two break tags first of all, okay, break tags here, and after that, okay, let us use in continuity. We will copy this one and I will paste it here, and then we will ask the user enter your password, enter your password, enter your password, enter your password, and we will refresh this, save this, and then we will refresh the web page. Now you can see it says enter your password. So now definitely we will have, one must have input element, so we will use here input element, okay. So after that we must have input element, input. I can use this in a second line, same it will go, enter input element, input. Now if I use here, after saving it, if we refresh this, so this is, but if I type here, so usually password, okay, password is not visible. You can see whatever the text I am typing over here in the text box, that is visible. So if password is visible, anyone can see it, okay, while typing. So why? Now you can see the attribute of this, we have not specified any attribute, so we have to specify the type of this input element as a password. Then now you will see the change, that we will not be able to see the password, whatever the password the user is going to type. So now I'm going to since we have changed the type of the input element to password, now what will happen, I'm going to save this again and I'm going to refresh this. Now look at here, whatever I'm going to type, you will not be able to see it, okay. You will be able to see only dots, dots. So this is, now we have turned this text box, this input element, as a password field. Now you can see a eye icon is appearing in front of this, okay. So if I click over that, we can see whatever the text is typed, okay. If we click on it again, okay, we will be able to see only these dots, so let us delete it, okay. So in this way we can add, okay, the password field, or we can say the password input element. We can also name it, okay, we will name it as password, okay, if you want to name can be any name, okay, but it should be appropriate name, so that it will be easy. Now you can see here I have given here R1, R2, okay, R1 and R1, because these are the radio buttons. So it is a name. Names are identifiers with the help of which we can identify our elements that we are going to add in the form, okay. Now next is drop down list. How to add drop down list? So to add the drop down list, we have one form, in the form that we have one tag, that is select. So let us use the select tag. Now we are going to select your city, okay. We are going to type here select your city, select your city, your city, your city, select your city. then I'm going to use here one tag, that is select. Look at here what will happen when we will use select tag. Okay, so before I use select tag, let me show you and show me the text. Okay, let me show you this change, the select your city, where it will appear. So you can see it is appearing just after this password field. So since I want this to appear in the next line, I will use two br tags so that two lines will be left. Okay, and then I will save it and I will refresh this web page, and you can see not select this city. Okay, is appearing just beneath it. And now I'm going to use here select tag. Now look at here what will happen when I'm going to use select tag. Select tag is a container tag, so it is we must have here closing tag. I'm going to use a closing tag, select. Okay, start tag and end tag, select. So what will happen when now this select tag will create a drop down, okay, in the web page. So if we save it and if we refresh our web page, so you can see here drop down is created. Okay, this is the drop down element that is created on the web page. And now what I'm going to do, how to assign the values. We can assign values, okay, to it to using another tag, that is option. Okay, so let us use your option. Okay, and we are going to name the option as, okay, first option, let us use here Delhi. And if now I will save it and we will refresh, so you can see Delhi has appeared here, okay, as an option. So we can select any option. Similarly, if I want one more option in the drop down, so I will click on, I will paste it, and here let us change it to Goa. Okay, so if now I will save this, and after that we will refresh this web page, and we have refreshed it. Delhi is appearing the first option. If you click on this drop down arrow, so you can see now two options are there in the drop down list. If we want to add more, we can copy this and we can type here, okay, another one, okay, Himachal Pradesh. Okay, let us select here Himachal Pradesh, PRADESH, and we will save it, and we will refresh the web page, and you can see here, okay, the options are appeared. And so in this way we can add more options. Okay, only you have to use option tag, okay, and within the select tag to add options in the drop down list. You can use here another option, okay, J&K, that is Jammu and Kashmir, or Punjab, let us use Punjab. Okay, and we will save it. So in this way we can add more options. Okay, we will keep on, and we have created a drop down list. Now after typing, okay, after filling the form, okay, definitely, let us suppose we have created this, okay, this is our complete form, let us suppose, and after selecting my hobby and then 6 and then enter your password, okay, and then after selecting the city, okay, we have to submit the information. We can submit the information, or if you want to fill this form again, then we can reset this information using two buttons, that is submit button and reset button. So let us add here two more buttons, that is submit and reset. How to add buttons in the form. So now what we are going to do, we are going to create buttons in the form. So this is the end tag of the form. So before that we will use another tag to create the buttons for the form. So now again here will be the input element we have to use, remember this. Okay, so input element, let us use here input here, input element. Okay, now if I use input element, as we have seen, by default the value of input type is text box, so you can see a text box is appearing after that. But now I want to change it to, okay, let us use here first of all to be attacked, so that it must appear in the new line. Okay, and we will save it and we will refresh this web page, and you can see it has appeared in the new line. And now what we will do, we will change its type to button. Okay, so that what will be the name of its type. There are two types of buttons that we will discuss: submit and reset. So first type we will use is submit. Okay, so let us use here the term submit. Okay, now I'm going to save this and we will refresh this, so you can see submit button has name of the button is same. Okay, we can give any name to it if we want to give any name. Okay, we can specify the name to it, name that will appear on the button, remember this. Okay, you can give any name if you want to give to this name. Value appears on that. Okay, we can name that element, let us b1. Okay, and if we want to give any value to it, we will give it submit it. Now what will happen, look at here, when I'm going to submit it, and we will save it. Names are just an identifier, okay, to identify the input elements of the form. So you can see now submitted, the value has appeared here. Okay, I have refreshed the page, so this value is appearing here. Okay, submitted. But if we don't want to change, we can make it submit. Okay, depends upon you. Or you can also click on send. Okay, if you want to change its value to send, that this is the send button. Okay, and we can also save it as a send, so you can see send this form, the information. Now again, now we will, when you will click on this send button, what will happen, okay, the information will be sent, okay, to the another web page or maybe another to the server. Okay, but definitely we have to link this button. Okay, when we click on send, what will happen, some action will be performed. Okay, so since we are not creating here dynamic pages, so this send button will not work here. But if we create a dynamic pages, then definitely we will be able to send the information to the server, okay, or another computer, we can say. Now next is reset. Now let us use reset button. Okay, I will use your break again. Okay, and then I will copy this and we will paste it here, and now we will name type, we will change its name to reset. Now if I save it, I'm going to save this one and I'm going to refresh this web page, so you can see the name is appearing send as again, because we have named it as send. But if we don't specify any value, the name will be reset. Okay, the value will be reset. So if I save it and if we refresh it, so you can see reset button. Okay, now what will happen after filling the form, let me fill this form information here. If I selected this one and I have selected here, I have typed your password and after that selected the city. Now if I click on reset, what will happen, all these field or all these selections will get cleared. If I click on reset, so you can see it is cleared. Okay, so this will reset the values to initial values, or we can say original state. Okay, originally it is empty. Okay, so they were not ticked, or none of the option was selected here, so it is you can see now form values are reset to their default values, or we can say original value. Now there is one more option, that if I want their that default values, like by default it is already selected, then in radio button I can use here selected. Okay, that checked, there is one term checked. Okay, that it should be checked or it should be selected at that time, like by default I want, okay, and this female as a checked one, then I can use here checked option, checked, one more attribute, checked. If I select it and if I refresh this, so you can see it is already selected. Okay, checked means already selected, one of the attribute of input element. Same I can use for checkboxes. If I use here checkboxes, for checkboxes, if I want this playing cricket should always be ticked, okay, whenever, so I can refresh this and okay, so we'll save it and we will refresh it. So you can see a tick is placed before, when as soon as the form will appear, these two will be selected. But if I select it now, what will happen if I am enter here? I'm going to fill the information again, and I'm going to select this one, okay, and I'm going to select this, and I'm going to enter password, and then this. If I click on reset, what will happen? By default means checked, I have checked female and playing cricket, so they will be reset, okay, they will be ticked, they will be selected, and rest of the form will be reset, okay, it will be resetted. So if I click on reset, you can see here why this tick is not removed and this radio button is not deselected. Reason is being we have used here attribute checked, so by default they will be checked in the form, okay, there is and value will be reset. So this cover ups the explanation of the radio buttons and checkboxes as well as drop down and as well as the buttons. Now the last element that we will discuss is adding a text area, or we can say if we want to type multiple lines of a text, then we can add using text area. One more element of the form is a text area. Some of you may have seen some forms where you have to enter your feedback, okay, or you have to type the descriptive text, then we use one element that is text area in the form. So how I will use this before the buttons. So here is the start of the buttons. I will copy this br, okay, and we will paste it here, and within the br tags we will use the another element that is text area of the form, text area. Remember this, this is again a container tag, so it has a closing start tag as well as closing tag, so we will use both. And here if we save this, so we will be able to see the text area where we can type the descriptive text. So this is how the text area look like. We can type here descriptive text as per our requirement, okay, we can type here descriptive text, okay, in this manner. Now you can see the length of this text area is small. If I want to increase its area, then I can save it, okay, I can use here one attribute of text area attribute, that is rows. I can define the rows as, let us make the rows 40, and I'm going to columns as 50 or 60, columns as 60. So you will see the area of the text is this field will increase, or text area will increase. I will save it and I will refresh this page, so you can see the area has been increased. Let us decrease it, I think it's too large, so I will complete it 30, and 30 is sufficient. Okay, let's save it and refresh it, and still it's too large. Number of rows, let us decrease the number of rows, 15. So I'm going to save this and we'll refresh this. Yeah, it's fine now. Okay, so here we can mention, okay, that your feedback, okay, if, your description, okay, your brief biodata, brief, your describe yourself rather than describe. Okay, well, let us use this one. Describe yourself. Describe yourself. Yourself. Okay, yourself. Describe yourself. Okay. Now I will save it and we will refresh this. So you can, I think it's appearing just beneath it. So we can use two Mobia tags. So if okay after it, so that it appears beneath it rather than after it. So if we, yes, now it's fine. So describe yourself. So here you can describe about yourself that okay, what are your hobbies other than playing cricket and football, okay, what are your other achievements. And after filling the entire form, you can, to submit the information we have to click on send button. If mistakenly you have done certain mistake in the form and you want to reset the entire form, then we can click on reset button. So this covers up all the elements of the form that are discussed in your book.